what's up, guys? Today we're going to go over how to draw a snake, specifically a cobra. So, I'm going to draw an S curve for the snake. I'm going to put over here for the head. Just kind of have something to frame it, something to find the shape. Just trying to find the cylinder of the body. I'm drawing really light right now because I'm about to go really dark. The eye will be somewhere around here. The mouth is going to open. Those are all really simple forms just to find my proportions. So I'm going to go really dark in now with the eye. His brow is kind of going into the wing of that cobra wing. I don't know. I'm not sure what you call that. I'm sure somebody will correct me. Mm-hmm. Let me sharpen my pencil real quick. What I'm doing is I'm actually taking care of the shadow pattern early. Usually I would do it in stages. I would get all the structure first, but I'm kind of shading as I go along as well. And the reason I'm doing that is no particular reason. I just want to do it. Snout over here. Ooh. Mouth opening. Fangs got to be a little bit longer here. He's looking a little bit menacing right now. A layer of skin there. As the mouth opens, it separates. The split tongue here, forked tongue. Snakes have always been pretty cool creatures. I know they had a two-headed snake in San Diego here at the zoo for a while. I'm not sure what happened to it. I'm not sure if it died or what, but I think it was. I'm not really sure how that happens. I think it's twins snakes that I guess when they separate, they don't separate all the way. I assume some like Siamese twins or conjoined twins. I know that's the politically correct way of saying it. Continuing down here. Let me see if that can appear on camera. Yeah, you can kind of see. I'm going to move it up a little bit. Now I'm trying to find the girth of the body here. It's going to get a little bit thicker as it gets lower. Go around behind him over there, connecting the form behind here so I can make sure to find it on this side. He's not a rattlesnake, so it's going to come to a taper. See how I drew through like that? I draw through like that, and then I erase it. If this thing will erase. This stupid pencil won't erase. It's just a pencil, by the way. It's a Polychromos Faber-Castell. I don't draw with it a lot. I used to draw with it in school projects, and that was pretty cool, but haven't drawn with it in a while. I don't think it erases all that well, though. But it looks, a little darker on the page, and I'm sure it's fine. This wing I have to kind of duplicate it on the other side. How would that look on that side? And I'm trying to hopefully make it mildly convincing. There'd be shadow there. I'm not going to make it as dark so that we can tell the difference between, this part of the mouth and that part of the back there. I'll refine that later on. I'm going to draw the pattern to the snake belly here. You have to remember the snake itself has its own cylinder, right? And then these wings over here, they have their own thing going on the outside. Actually, I had to make that wing a little bigger because I thought it was just too small. Cast shadow from the neck of the snake. Cast shadow from the wing here. I'm not sure what you call that. I'm going to call it the wing of the cobra. Cobra head. Cobra head wing. This pattern goes all the way down. Not all the way down, I'm sorry. Well, it should go all the way down, but the thing is his belly is hitting the floor. So that will change that. Let's put that pattern on his belly. Make sure to follow kind of the curvature of his body. I know I'm kind of drawing it wishy-washy, but I'll go back there and fix it up. So now right here we have a little bit of a dilemma. Like, it kind of looks a little bunched up. Let me see this. So I'm going to darken the contour of the whatever's on front. The part of the body that's on front, I'm going to darken that contour. Darkening that a little bit. Alright, since the light's coming from the top, I'm going to put a little bit of shadow. Think of this as a cylinder. This side's going to get some shadow. This side's going to catch light. Actually, let me erase some stuff here. There's some lines here confusing me. The wing over here is still behind a little bit, so it's going to catch some shadow as well. It could catch some light, obviously. And now it's kind of like thinking about the forms, like what would fall behind what, and what shape would that make. It's all an exercise in like, okay, how would that react? So I'm going to get this side, there's a cylinder over there. I'm shooting it just kind of sloppily. I just want to see where it is, and then I'll refine it. If I choose to, I'll refine it. That line's different than that line. Alright, so now I step back a little bit and I think, what can I do to change it? What can I do to mess around with it? And I'm going to dig into that. I'm going to dig in and try to refine something in the eye here. Let me sharpen. I'm going to close up for this too. Close up for this. Alright, I'll try to keep this. I'll try to keep still. I'm going to go into smaller detail, maybe like the scales. I don't want to draw them all over his body. I'll just kind of indicate them on his brow here. Slight shading on his eyeball, because round. Trying to see his cheekbone here. Every now and then I pull back and I try to see the whole thing a little bit further away. Because sometimes you're just, like all up on the drawing and you're too subjective, and that's going to happen. That's why I suggest, and I think this is a really common thing that everybody suggests, is when you're working on a piece, especially, like when you're drawing something, get up and get away from it at some point, And when you come back, you'll get more of a fresh eye perspective on it. You get a fresh eye view. It will really help. Or if you want that view immediately, want that fresh eye view on your own stuff immediately, take it into Photoshop. If you're working on Photoshop or whatever, and flip it backwards, or just put your drawing in a mirror, and you should see it a little more freshly. I've heard guys that say that they don't see it different at all, which I find really weird, because I totally see my drawings different in the mirror. It'll let you know if the balance is symmetrical, composition and things like that, or the shapes, or the darks, if they're all balanced out. If one crazy line is darker than the other, you'll see that immediately, and you'll be like, oh man, I can fix that, So it's like a good thing. It's usually an easy fix too, when you see stuff like that. It just becomes so blatant. Especially guys, if you work on Photoshop, if you draw on Photoshop, and I do too, and as well as I do, you're flipping your painting or drawing back and forth constantly throughout the process. Actually, I dig this pencil, by the way. I gotta use this more. I'm indicating a masseter over here. I'm not even sure if snakes have them. I'm sure they do have giant masseters. I'm sure they bite crazy hard. Shadow underneath the lower jaw here. A little bit darker shape over here, because I want to separate that area from the bottom of the neck here. Shading to the side over here, but not too as dark, because I want this to pop forward. Let me look through this through the camera. I want this to pop forward. I want the head to pop forward. So I tend to draw the stuff that's behind. I tend to draw that a little lighter. Even though in reality it wouldn't do that, but I think for a stylized point, you want this stuff, what's on front, to be a little bit darker. Generally. I'm saying that as a general rule. Because every situation, calls for different things, and there's different styles and different decisions. And remember that drawing is all about decision making. I forget who told me that, but I agree. Draw those a little lighter. Let's get catching more direct light. Alright, let me pull back a little. Whoa, snap. I'm getting low on batteries here. I might have to end this sooner than I thought. Okay, I'm going to go to the tongue and gently put, because it's a small cylinder in a way, at least the way I'm drawing it. I'm going to give it a little bit of shadow. Don't overdo it. Alright, I might have to end this sooner than I thought because of the batteries, but I'll keep it going as long as I can. The batteries on my camera here are dying. So, we're going back to the snake belly area. I like to give that a little depth, even though I don't know if it does have that. But I think they look cool. Continuing to shade. See, the body itself has a cylinder, right? And then behind that, there is the wing, It's not really behind it, but I guess it's a little behind it. I just want to find a way to separate them, so I could either darken this side right here, I could darken it, then bring this forward lightly, or I could darken the back on this side. Can you see that? Yeah, or I can darken this, but I'm going to choose to do this and pull this, darken this a little bit, make it roll forward. Putting this really light glaze over it, this really light shade. It's almost like shade, but it's not. Everybody calls it halftone. I grew up. I went to school with it, calling it halftone. I want another name for it. I'm really sick of the word halftone. So anybody have a better word for halftone? And like I said, what halftone is, it's not this, because that's pretty much shadow. It's this, and this is light, right? This is like the lightest part of something. It's more this medium kind of like, it's catching light, but it's also, it's getting some shade in there too. It's in the middle. It's called a halftone normally. I hate that name. Somebody please, in the comments, please give me another name for that. I don't want to use the word halftone anymore. Give me a name and I'll use it. Well, if I like it, I'll use it. Let me see this in the camera. Let me zoom out a little bit. Oops. Wait. Yeah, that's how you do it. Move up a little. Alright, let's go back down here. I'm going to continue going down the cylinder of the body. I'm going to continue messing with these shapes right here. I'm going to treat these, even though and it's tricky here too. It's not that tricky actually, but because these are individual shapes and I'm treating them as such, but you have to make sure they have to be considered one unit, So it has to look separate and together at the same time. How long am I taking on this? Oh, snap. We just hit 20 minutes. Alright, guys. I'm going to end this video. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe, by the way. I would love more subscribers. And if you did like this video, please share it. Sharing it is to me the equivalent of giving me money, essentially. You know, it's like people got those donate tabs next to their stuff. Just share it. I don't need money. Just share it, and I feel good just knowing people watch it. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Peace out.